Hi students, this is Mrs. Kang. I'm going to go over the 2-2 textbook page 39, 3 to 15 homework assignment. So even though the homework is Google form, what I did was I actually just printed out the page. This is actually your textbook page that you can that we passed out to you, or you can also access it on Go Math Online. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the following problems. So from 3 to 10, I'm going to go over number 3, number 12, and then I will go over number 11, and I will do number 13. Okay, so let us begin. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to write the homework heading, 2-2, textbook, page 39, numbers 3 to 15, and I like to write Google form. Don't forget to write your name, date, period. I'm just gonna write today's date, although I think your date's gonna be different. I'm just going to write period 4. Okay, all right, so let me go ahead and make the screen a little bit larger. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to copy down number 3 here. So I need to find the least common multiple of 8 and 56. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first find the least common multiple using the ladder method, and then I'm actually also going to give you a sort of like a shortcut that you can use if you understand the shortcut. Okay, so when I think of 8 and 56, there are many numbers I can use as a common factor, 2, 4, and even 8, okay? But I'm gonna divide by 4 and see what happens. 4 goes into 8 2 times, and 4 goes into 56 14 times. As you can see, I need to continue. I can divide by 2. So 2 goes into 2 once, and 2 goes into 14 7 times. This is when you're going to stop, and then for least common multiple, instead of just multiplying the numbers on the left, you need to multiply the left as well as the bottom. So you see this big L for LCM. Okay, just remember that. Okay, so your least common multiple is what you get when you multiply all of these numbers. 4 times 2 times 1 times 7. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 2, which is 8, and 1 times 7, which is 7. So your least common multiple equals 56. And I'm going to box that answer. The shortcut that I want to talk about is this though. So when you have 8 and 56, okay, you might want to first ask yourself, does the smaller number go into the bigger number? Does 8 go into 56? Yes, it does, because 8 times 7 is 56. So if this smaller number is a factor of 56, or you can divide the bigger number by the smaller number, okay, then you automatically know that the greater number is the least common multiple. Okay, another example, least common multiple, this is not from the homework, but least common multiple of 2 and 10. You know that 2 is a factor of 10. 2 divides evenly into 10. So that means 10 is your least common multiple of the two numbers. Now, this was not part of the homework, so I'm going to exit out in case it confuses anyone. All right, I'm going to skip a couple lines, and now I'm going to copy down number 5. So I need to find the least common multiple of 12 and 30. Now, so the first thing I'm going to do is ask myself, does 12 go into 30? Is 12 a factor of 30? It's not, so I cannot use this shortcut that I talked about. So I'm just going to divide as usual. This time I'm going to use a larger common factor, okay, such as, so you could start with 2, 3, but also 6. 6 goes into 12 2 times, and 6 goes into 30 5 times. Notice there's no other common factor, so I need to stop right there, multiply my side and the bottom. So I need to do 6 times 2 times 5. So 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 times 5, so 10, 5 plus 1 is 6, so it is 60. My least common multiple equals 60. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to solve talk about number 11. Okay, let me see if I need to adjust my, okay, all right. Okay, so it says during February, Kevin will water his ivy every 3rd day and water his cactus every 5th day. So Kevin's gonna water his ivy every 3 days and his cactus every 5 days, okay? Number 8, on which date will Kevin first water both plants together? Okay. I'm going to solve this problem using the listing method rather than the ladder method, okay? So what I'm going to do is on my spiral notebook, I'm going to write the following information. So number 11, A, I'm gonna write ivy, 3rd day, so I'm gonna write 3rd. And then for cactus, I'm gonna write 5th. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to list some multiples of 3 and some multiples of 5. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I'm just gonna pause here. I might need to do more, but maybe or maybe not. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Hopefully you guys realize that I already found my answer. Okay, so over here, my very first common multiple is 15. That's my least common multiple. What that means is, to answer the question, on which date will Kevin first water both plants together? So for the answer for A would be, Kevin will water both plants together on the 15th. That's when he's going to water both plants together. Okay, and then let's take a look at question B. It says, will Kevin water both plants together again in February? Explain your answer. Okay, well, let's just pretend to let's just keep going and write more multiples, okay? 21, 24, 27, okay? Well, 30, okay. Now, I want you to think about it. The least common multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. What that means is they're going to be watering both plants together every 15 days, which means the next time they're going to water both plants together is technically going to be the 30th. And then the next time will be the 45th day, and so on and so forth. Now, the question is, will Kevin water both plants together again in February? And the answer to that is actually no. The reason is because how many days are there in February? There are only 28 or 29 days in February. So then, you know, Kevin is not going to water both plants again together in February. Okay, it'll go into March. And I forgot to box these answers. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. All right, so hopefully that made sense. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is 13, 14, and 15 are also similar type of word problems. I'm not gonna do all of them because you should be trying some yourselves, but I am going to do one problem, okay? So it says use the subway train schedule. So here I have the subway train schedule. So red line arrives every 8 minutes, blue line arrives every 10 minutes, and yellow line arrives every 12 minutes. The question for number 13 says the red line and the blue line trains just arrived at the same time. When will they next arrive at the station at the same time? It's basically asking for the least common multiple, okay? So red and blue. So if you take a look, red is 8 minutes, blue is every 10 minutes. So number 13, what I'm going to write is red, 8 minutes, and blue, 10 minutes. And I'm going to list the multiples until I find a common multiple. Okay, I'm gonna actually start with the 10 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna write up to 60 and then I'm going to do more if it is necessary. Now I'm gonna do 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, but hopefully you realize I don't need to keep going because I already found my common multiple right here. So then what that means is when the red line arrives every 8 minutes and the blue line arrives every 10 minutes, when it is in 40 minutes, they're going to arrive at the same time, okay? So, well, this one, it just says in blank minutes. So I'm just going to do that, fill in the blank. So in 40 minutes. Okay. Now, just so you know, what if we were to use the ladder method to solve that same problem? So I'm going to demonstrate solving that using the ladder method as well. So I'm gonna find the least common multiple of 8 and 10. So I'm thinking about a common factor and I think I'm going to divide by 2. So it goes in 4 times and 5 times. Now since I have 4 and 5, there are no other common factors but 1. So I stop and I'm going to multiply my L, my side and my bottom. So 2 times 4 times 5. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. So then you get the same answer, 40 minutes. Okay? So you could use that same strategy for number 11 as well. Oh, and in fact, there's something important I want to talk about regarding number 11. So let's actually go ahead and try to do the ladder method with 11 as well. 3 and 5. Okay, so then let's take a look here. There is no common factor other than 1 that you can use for 3 and 5. And remember how you don't want to use 1 because then if you use 1, you'll just get the same number, okay? So then If that's the case, if other than 1, there's no other common factor, then to find the least common multiple, what you're going to do is you can simply just multiply the two numbers. So then 3 times 5, you get 15. And as you can see, it matches with your least common multiple that you found when you were making a list. Okay, now what if you had divided by 1? So let me actually demonstrate that as well, because actually you could try dividing by 1 and see what happens. So if you divide by 1, then you know how you would get 3 and 5. Well, there's no other common factor, so you're gonna just stop. And then if you multiply your L, your left and the bottom, 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 5 is 15. So you get the same answer. Okay, all right, so that's it for tonight. Okay, thank you.